Girl, I know. I was supposed to be giving mime. I was supposed to be giving clown. Instead, I'm giving Jojo Siwa.
Moto likes you.
I like 'em big.
I'm giving Kiss.
She was a fairy.
Giving Undertaker, girl. Let's just start with the video, okay? So in this video, I will be talking about the movies that won Best Picture in the Oscars from the year 2010 to the year 2019, the decade of the tens, if you will. So for the 2010 Oscars, the movie that won Best Picture was The Hurt Locker. This movie had 9 nominations and it won 6. And I'm sorry, but when you tell me that a movie had 9 nominations and it won 6, I was expecting something revolutionary, girl. I was expecting something out of the box, if you will. I was expecting something that made my jaw drop. And then when I started watching this movie, no tea, no shade, but the movie, I was not getting it. I was not getting why the movie won 6 Oscars.
I'm not gagging.
I'm sorry, if this is one of your favorite movies, you're allowed to like a movie, but at the same time, I'm allowed to not like a movie. And this movie, I don't know, I felt like I've watched this movie 100 times. It's a movie about guys being in the military. Like, I was not impressed. I guess the different thing about this movie was the fact that this guy, his specialization is in disarming bombs. But at the same time, the plot of the movie itself, crickets, mama. My jaw was not on the floor. The one thing I did like about the movie was that it started right away. The movie doesn't give you an intro. It doesn't give you like, oh, let's get to know the characters. The movie starts right away, and that I always appreciate. So me ranking this movie from 1 to 10, obviously 1 being the better one and 10 being the worst one, I'm going to place this movie at my number 10. Okay, so now let's talk about the 2011 Oscars. This Oscars was when James Franco and Anne Hathaway were the hosts for the show. And I don't know, I find them such an odd pairing. And I saw a comment that said, when the unenthusiastic popular kid gets paired with a straight A student for a presentation. And yes, it was giving very much that. So the movie that won the Oscar for Best Picture in the 2011 awards was The King's Speech. So I'm just gonna say it before I start reviewing the movie. I'm so surprised that this movie won over The Social Network movie, over Inception, and over Toy Story 3. Like, I cannot believe it. For me, the Oscar could have been to any of those 3 movies that I just mentioned. The one that I saw the least winning this award was The King's Speech. But anyway, the movie tells you the story about how Queen Elizabeth's father, before he was king, he had a problem with his talking, like he had a stutter. And what was it that he did in order to improve his speech? It's very British. The story is interesting to an extent, but it falls under the category of boring very easily. So that's why I'm placing The King's Speech on my number 9. Okay, so now for the 2012 Oscars, the movie that won Best Picture was The Artist. This movie was nominated for 10 Oscars and it won 5. This movie took me by surprise because, first of all, I was not expecting the whole movie to be silent because this was my first time watching the movie. So it's a very Tom and Jerry type of beat. The movie was giving very much mime, hence my attire. I was thinking like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like this movie. I mean, even though I do like Tom and Jerry and stuff like that, but to my surprise, it was so good. The plot of the movie is basically about this actor who is a silent movies actor, and then when the talkies or the movies where people talk come to take over Hollywood, he doesn't want to do them because he's very much stuck in his ways. But the movie shows you the trajectory of this actor from being on top of the world because he was very famous, this and that, to then being a nobody because people were more interested now in movies in where people talked. The one thing that I didn't like, which is not a really bad thing, was that when you're watching this movie, you feel like you cannot even blink because you might miss something. Because remember, you're not listening to anything. You need to be paying a lot of attention to see what's going on in the movie. But other than that, I really loved it. So The Artist, in my ranking, I'm going to place it at my number 4. Okay, so now let's talk about the 2013 Oscars ceremony. So this Oscars was when Jennifer Lawrence fell on her way to receive her Oscars in the stairs. So the movie that won the 2013 Oscar for Best Picture was the movie Argo. So the plot of this movie is basically about these Americans who are in Iran and they need to be rescued from Iran. So the American government comes up with this cover-up, and the cover-up is basically that those American people back in Iran are actually Canadian filmmakers who were looking for film locations for their new movie Argo. I found the plot of this movie very interesting because even though I feel like we've seen in a lot of movies we need to fake passports and we need to fake our names, even though that's something that we've seen in a lot of movies, I feel like this fake job title of being filmmakers is something that at least me, I haven't seen in a movie. And also after watching the movie, I couldn't believe that they actually got away with it. Apparently this was based on a true story. In my opinion, if I was one of those Americans who escaped Iran by faking to be a Canadian, and not only that, when they were in Iran, the Canadian ambassador helped those Americans. Baby, I would change my citizenship to Canadian. Yes, the next day I will be singing "Oh Canada," okay? But overall, ranking this movie, I'm going to place it at number 5. So now let's talk about the 2014 Oscars ceremony. In this Oscars was when the iconic Oscar selfie was took. So the movie that won Best Picture for the 2014 Oscars was 12 Years a Slave. Girl, this movie is so shocking to me. This was my first time watching this movie. This is a story about a man who was a free man in the north of the United States, and then he gets tricked by a couple of dudes and he gets sold as a slave and sent to the south of the United States, and then he becomes a slave for 12 years. Something that I really like about this movie is that a lot of the shots of the movie feel, I don't know if they're edited, but feel like they were shot in one shot. Does that make sense? There's no cuts, and because there's no cuts, you feel like you are there. The thing is that towards the end of the movie, a Canadian man helps him. Like, girl, this is another win for Canada. I know Canada has a reputation for being nice, but I didn't know it was this nice. You know, that was very nice of that man to actually hear him out and say, you know what, yes, I'm going to help you. Canada might be my favorite country right now. I've never been to Canada, but based on these movies, I might want to go and live there. Let's rank this movie from 1 to 10. I'm going to place it at number 2. So the 2015 Oscars, the movie that won for Best Picture was Birdman. So this movie had 9 nominations and it won 4. This movie, more than the previous one, feels like all of the movie was one shot. So that I really like about this movie. The other thing that I like about this movie is that they casted Michael Keaton for this role. It just makes sense. I think it's a brilliant movie. It's very clever, it's funny. In my ranking, I'm going to place it at number 3. So let's talk about the 2016 Oscars. So this Oscars was when Leonardo DiCaprio finally won his Oscar. The plot about this movie is pretty much about how people that work in the Catholic Church likes to do things, for lack of a better word, with kids. So in this movie, we follow 4 journalists, their investigation into trying to make this problem of the Catholic Church come to light. The movie itself, I found it a little bit slow paced. Ranking it, I'm going to place it at number 7. So now let's talk about the 2017 Oscars. Okay, so this Oscars was when everybody thought that La La Land had won for Best Picture. Come to find out, no, it was a mistake. It was supposed to be Moonlight. So it was like a whole Steve Harvey type of thing going on those Oscars. So this movie is pretty much about a dude who is gay, and you see how he struggles with his sexuality. So the movie is filled with a lot of uncertainty because you're watching the movie almost through the lens of the MC, and you see how throughout the whole movie he's pretty much scared of something happening to him because he understands that people do not accept him. But the ending of the movie was a little bit plain for me. I don't know, like I was expecting something and then it kind of ended. So ranking this movie from 1 to 10, I'm going to place it at number 8. So now let's talk about the 2018 Oscars. The movie that won the Best Picture Oscar was The Shape of Water. This movie had 13 nominations that night and it won 4 awards. Okay girl, this was my first time watching this movie and I cannot believe it. I cannot believe I haven't watched this movie ever. It's basically about this girl who is a janitor in this factory, and then they bring this type of merman to the factory and she sees that these people are abusing the merman, and then she finds out that they want to kill him, and she has fallen in love with this merman and she's like, not on my watch. So she rescues the merman and brings him to her house to live in the bathtub. But then there's also like a romance going on, and then it happened. I started liking this movie. So I'm like, girl, show me more.
What do you mean by that?
When you think about it, the MC, she's really a freaky girl, if you will. She was literally like, is somebody gonna match my freak?
Nasty, nasty. Is somebody gonna match my freak?
Ranking this movie from 1 to 10, baby, this is my number 1. And then finally, let's talk about the 2019 Oscars. Okay, so this Oscars, no, because let's talk about it. This Oscars is when we had A Star is Born, the Lady Gaga movie, nominated. Here is Lady Gaga, here is Bradley Cooper, and right in the middle of both of them, Bradley Cooper's girlfriend was sitting. So when it came the time for Bradley and Lady Gaga to sing Shallow, whatever the name is, on stage, they walked hand in hand to the stage to sing the song. Not only that, but the whole performance, you see Lady Gaga giving eyes to Bradley Cooper. Like, girl, I remember thinking, what the f is she doing? Why is she doing this? Bradley Cooper's girlfriend is literally right there. 1, 2, the movie is over. I know that in the movie, Lady Gaga's character and Bradley Cooper's character have a romantic thing going on, but the movie is over. As soon as the director says cut, you need to cut that shit out. So I don't understand why she was, I don't know if she was acting, but let's say that she was acting like she was in love with Bradley Cooper during that performance. Like, you can perform the song without being romantic. And then see at the end of the song how Bradley Cooper goes like around the piano and he goes to sit besides Gaga, and then they're giving eyes to each other. Like, y'all can cut that out, both of y'all. It wasn't only Lady Gaga, it was him too. Me personally, if I was Bradley Cooper's girlfriend, I would have crashed out. As soon as I see some like that, I will become a citizen of Crash Outville. But anyway, let's talk about the movie that won Best Picture in the 2019 Oscars. The movie that won was Green Book. This movie talks about something I didn't know. Apparently, if you were a person of color and you wanted to travel to the South at a certain time in the history of the United States, you needed a specific guide that will tell you which places allowed black people, just so you wouldn't get into trouble while you were staying in that specific town. So that's pretty much what the movie is about. It's about this dude who plays the piano. He's doing a country tour and he wants to go to some of the states in the South, but because he's a black man, he needs some backup, he needs a bodyguard type thing. Basically, the plot of the movie is you see the journey of both of them traveling through these towns of the South of the United States. Something I really like about the movie is the relationship between the MC and the bodyguard. Ranking this movie from 1 to 10, I'm going to rank it at my number 6. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you when I see you, okay? Bye!
We the big 3, don't need a big speech. We made the biggest impact, check the spreadsheet.